Hey, Shalom. All praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Kadash. And the citations and the real honor goes on to the brothers in the new covenant. Singing the new song. Singing together, singing along, bringing something to the table, not coming before the Lord empty. That's in the scriptures. You're not to appear before the Lord empty. And that's what we have happening a lot of these camps and guys. They come before the Lord empty, just full of emptiness, void. The light is not in them. The heavy matters of the law, the weightier matters, it's not in them. They're just light and treacherous. And I'm gonna get a scripture, but I basically want to say something because I'm getting news. All the news of this world and of this society is always gonna be bad. So we don't focus on that. We focus on the good, which is this word. And as we decrease more in this world and this society, you're actually increasing in the spirit and in the things and the faculty of the Lord. And it's beautiful because this is what we've always wanted, So we're not thinking it's strange, our fiery trial, which is to try us. It's not strange to us. We realize what times we're in, and we realize we're on a pilgrimage. And nothing is eternal, and nothing is going to last in the society. Like you'll get some meat or whatever in this world, right? And then if you just keep it in your fridge, or if you don't eat it, you try to preserve it or save it, guess what? It's gonna spoil, it's gonna rotten, and it's gonna be good for nothing. It's not gonna be able to feed you or anybody else. And that's what Yahweh Shai said. He said, labor not for the meat that perisheth, but labor for the meat that endureth forever, which is Yahweh Shai. Which Yahweh Shai said, I have meat ye know not of, but now we know. Now we know what that meat is. The most important food on the plate is the meat. Is Yahweh Shai. Is doing the work of the Lord and doing it sincerely with your whole heart and with your whole mind and all your body. And sacrificing unto the Lord. So as we're becoming more and more distant from this world and money and the cares, the flesh, we're at peace in our mind. And that's what these people of this world are like confounded at. They don't understand how that's possible. Well, it's possible because of our faith. Our faith is making us whole. All right, our faith is making us whole, and this is where our victory lies. It doesn't rely on things that we can feel, touch, and see, but it's all on the inside, which no one can really take from us. So this is the Lord doing all these things. All right, Psalms 83 and 18. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. And the Lord, He's doing His will. He's doing what He wants to do. And we're a part of that. We're a part of that. So to this world, it may seem like we're perishing, like we're dying, but really we're being brought to life. Because all those that seek to save their life is going to lose it. But those that lose their life, you brothers that lose your life, you sacrifice daily, you're going to gain it unto eternal life. You're going to live forever. You're going to overcome death. You're going to overcome the second death, the nuclear missiles. Because that shit's heating up too. See, people think it's afar off, but it's not. It's really not. And if you're in the spirit, you can sense that something very, very of a heavy, huge magnitude is about to happen to the whole earth. That's going to affect everybody, man. Everybody. And it's going to come like a thief, like a surprise, like, man, you didn't even think. You see? So let me read this. Zephaniah chapter 3. I'm probably going to start from the top. It says, woe to her that is filthy and polluted to the oppressing city. And this whole city, this whole society, and really this is going into Jerusalem. Filthy, polluted, And what did Micah say? What did John the Revelator say? Come out of her, because she is polluted. You will be destroyed. If you don't come out of this place, you don't come out of these camps, because these camps have been overtaken by Satan. Totally adverse to Yahushua and the gospel, the good news. That's why these newscasters, they cast spells on you, are telling you all the bad news on the earth. Oh, you can't work and you get vaccinated. Oh, what are you going to do? Don't worry about that shit. Don't even put a thought to that, man. Think upon things that are in the heavens, man, in the spirit, that are eternal. Cast your treasures in heaven. That's where your heart will be also. She obeyed not the voice, right? They don't, a lot of our people are not obeying the voice of the Lord, which is the voice of the prophets, which are not going to be double honored. They're going to be hated. They're going to be cast out of synagogues. The truth is going to be evil spoken of, because men shall follow their pernicious ways. If you came to this truth, right, just so you could get tithes from men and praise from women, oh my gosh, great video, then you're going to be destroyed by the Lord, because you're exalting yourself. You're exalting your gate. And all you guys that exalt your gate, you're seeking your own destruction. She received not correction. She trusted not in the Lord. She drew not near to her God. So as you draw closer to the Lord and closer to power, what does that by default happen? It causes you to draw further and further away from the world and the society. You're not going to fit in. You're not going to be accepted in these buildings and these temples made by hands, because that's not where the Spirit of the Lord is. It says, her princes within her are roaring lions. Her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw not the bones till the morrow. Her prophets are light. Let me read that again. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law. You see, so it's not Esau. It's not woman. It's not Ham. It's not Moab. I remember this brother, man. He was like, oh, we got to talk about Moab more. Fuck, we don't. The hell we don't. All you need to know about Moab is their wash pot. That's it. Their wash pot of the Lord. That's it. They wash in pots. And they're going to wash the melting pot of America with missiles, man. China and Russia throw a war. It's about to go down, man. This is what we're hastening for. This is what we're looking forward to. This is what we're looking forward to, man. You know? And we don't have a price tag on us to buy us out. We can't be sold. We can't be bought for like a lot of guys have already been bought for. Says the Lord, just Lord is in the midst thereof, right? Where 2 or 3 is gathered, only the few, the chosen. He will not do iniquity. Every morning he doth bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. That's right. And even David, let's go to the Psalms. So as the Lord's judging, right? Guess what? We're being judged as well. We're not hypocrites. Psalm 7 and 8, the Lord shall judge the people. Judge me, O Yahweh, according to my righteousness and according to mine integrity that is in me. And what's that integrity? Integrity means innocence. Innocency, which is Yahweh Shai that's in us. That's justifying us. Our lawyer that's standing beside us. Defending us, because we're defending the gospel. We're defending him. And this is where the Lord's love is fulfilled. Let me get another one. And if a spiritual man judges all things, right? And he is judge of no man. So no man can judge us. We are judging in the spirit, not after the flesh. Like I did that video the other day. You know, Yahweh Shai said in John 8, they judge after the flesh. They judge after man's judgment. After they buy off the judges. All right, well, give me some money and I'll judge it how you want me to judge this situation. We're not like that, man. Judge me, O Lord, my God, according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. So all you hypocrites, all you false brethren, you're not going to rejoice over us, man. The holy apostles and holy prophets, we're going to rejoice when all is said and done. And that's what's hastening to come. Everything has been said, and the Lord's about to finish, and it's about to be done. His work is about to be done, you know. He's going to make a speedy work upon the earth. Let them not say in their hearts, so would we have it. Let them not say, we have swallowed them up. And this is all going into overcoming the last enemy. First Corinthians 15 and 54. So when this corruptible shall put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality. And it begins with your thought process. It begins with what you're thinking. What you have on your mind throughout the day. And the brother made a beautiful point, Slakia, Van Ashton. Let me know if I said it wrong, but he made a beautiful point where he said, see, this twinkling of an eye is not the twinkle of an eye as man see it. Like, oh, a video game, just press square and triangle at the same time, and then all of a sudden you get changed into Superman. It's a journey, it's a progress up into that point, and we're getting closer towards it. Brothers is getting the brothers is fasting more. They're eating better. They're taking care of their body. They're balancing with working out the flesh and being in the spirit and reading and doing these videos. We're balancing out, and we're getting so strong where it's like sickness has no more power over us. You see? Says, then shall be brought to pass that saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. So we're swallowing up victory. We're swallowing up death. And this is why the Lord said they shall drink poison and live, and nothing shall hurt them. See, this is a power we've been given, and it has nothing to do with the world of flesh or social media, man. You see, Isaiah 25:8, he will swallow up death in victory, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will wipe away tears from off all faces. No more crying, no more suffering, no more mourning, no more curses. And the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth. For the Lord has spoken it, right? And it begins with the elect. It begins with the elect that are receiving the correction, that are receiving the rebuke, that are humbling themselves. Okay? Verse 17 says, like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery is in pain and crieth out in her pain, so have we been in thy sight, O Lord, right? And we're crying out because of all the injustice, all the corruption. The scriptures talk about this world in Daniel's 2, how they shall seek to wear out the saints, they shall change laws and times. But see, you can't see, just because the world's changing and men is changing the doctrine, they're perverting the gospel and everything, doesn't mean you change with it. Doesn't mean you go with the flow. You go against that. You make a stand. You be unmovable. You see? Abounding in the work of the Lord. Now I want to get this word for light in Zephaniah 3. Her prophets are light, right? So the word light here is pakwaz. And it means to be unimportant. So the vast majority of what the multitudes and the many false prophets, the main topics and things they're saying is unimportant things. They're not teaching things of Yahushua or saying what Yahushua said. They're saying what they want to say, what they think. Now it says to be wanton, be reckless, be frothy. Now the word frothy, when you look it up, it says light and entertaining, but of little substance. Let me read that again. It says light and entertaining, but of little substance. You see that? So it's entertainment. You know, they see all the subscribers, they see all the likes and the thousands, and guys talk about women. They put big butts in their picture on the videos to draw the multitudes towards them. So it says lightweight, shallow, superficial, empty, trivial, trifling, frivolous, worthless, insignificant, petty, of no value. So this is the spirit of the prophets. Let me read that again. All right, it means to be reckless. Guys are being reckless, right? Reckless is to be rash of a person or their actions without thinking or caring about the consequences of an action. See, you can't make this up. See, everything we're saying, it's being backed up by the word, by the Lord. And the word wanton is deliberate, licentious, of a cruel or violent action, deliberate and unprovoked, sexually unrestrained, and having many casual sexual relationships, typically used of a woman. Growing profusely luxuriant, right? Living in pleasure, playful. You see, not being able to control yourselves. Now, let me read this one more time. Zephaniah 3:4. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law. And that's why in these moments, the Lord, he's only with a small sanctuary. You know, like when you view it as the Lord views it, the small sanctuary, the little ones. To the eyes of the world, we look like we're nothing, but really we're something. You know, we're the heavy prophets. The real prophets are heavy. What we're saying is heavy. So the spirit that's on us is heavy, and we're like us being in Babylon and waking up in this society, this corrupt place. We're bringing this place down. You know, we're like that anchor, and we're bringing the ship down. You know, we're not upholding this world. All right. And when you read the Gospels, it's symbolic of what Yahushua and the disciples did when the disciples were obedient to what Yahushua said to do. Even though that when they were doing it themselves, they weren't really getting a lot out of it, but they kept on persevering, kept on being obedient, and just kept on being persistent. And eventually their hard work and their obedience and just taking heed, and it really paid off. So this is Luke 20 and verse 25. And he said unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which be Caesar's, and unto God the things which be God's. And they could not take... So there's a separation, you see. It says, and they could not take hold of his words before the people, and they marveled at his answer and held their peace. You see, so they couldn't even take hold of his words. They couldn't receive it. They didn't understand it like that. They cannot take hold of his words before the people. Now, let's get Luke 5. Luke 5, I'll start at verse 3. I'm just getting to the point here. All right, showing you the disciples of the Lord, the true prophets having the heavier, more weightier matters of the law, things that are more important, more severe, more serious. We're the ones that's actually bringing down this kingdom through the spirit and power, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Meanwhile, these light and treacherous prophets and princes in the midst of our people and priests have violated the law. They're upholding Babylon. They're upholding the confusion and the carnal things and things that aren't important. You see, that's what they're holding. That's the sign they're holding up. The sign we're holding up, it's like we're getting X'd out. Like, oh my gosh, look what he's saying. Look what he's holding up. Oh, we gotta X him out. We can't allow him to have thousands of subscribers and to be seen. That's the thing. That's the thing with Yahushai. The Pharisees, scribes, and elders, they try to keep Yahushai in the grave. You see, they try to keep him dead and underground, and you know what I'm saying? Same thing with the disciples and the men of the Lord in these last days. Luke 5 and verse 3. And he entered into one of the ships, which was Simon's, and prayed him that he would thrust out a little from the land. And he sat down and taught the people out of the ship. Now, when he had left speaking, he said unto Simon, Launch out into the deep, not the shallow. See, another word for of that word light means shallow. You only put your pinky toe in, you know. It says, so go into the deep. It says, and let down your nets for a drought, right? Because we're trying to catch what? We're trying to catch men, and it's happening. It's happening. It's happening in these last days. Because Lord said he's not going to make us a catcher of fish, but a catcher of men. You see? This is all symbolic of these last days. This is 1 Corinthians 2 and 10. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit, not by an elder, by his Spirit. See, because there's certain things that man and flesh can't teach you, but the Spirit has to show you and teach you and reveal to you. Yahushua is the only one that can do that. That's why when you read, I think John 10, it talks about how the voice of strangers they will not listen and adhere to and follow. They will be rejected because the sheep only follow the voice of Yahushua. It says, for the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of power. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so the things of God knoweth no man but the Spirit of God. See, so you have to have the Spirit to really confess and preach and really allow Yahushua to dwell in you and to speak through you. He's gonna be in your heart. This is all a part of the new covenant. This is all a part of the new covenant. So going back to Luke 5, all right, Luke 5 and verse Verse 5 says, and Simon answering said unto him, Master, we have toiled all the night and have taken nothing. You see? Nevertheless, at thy word, I will let down the net. You see that? And when they had this done, they enclosed a great multitude of fishes, and their net brake. And they beckoned unto their partners, which were in the other ship, that they should come and help them. And they came and filled both the ships, so that they began to sink. You see? The deep things, the men of the Lord that are being obedient to what Yahushua is saying and telling us to do, we're doing it. And we're getting such a huge catch that the ship is like starting to sink. So it's like all hands on deck. You got other brothers coming out of nowhere. They're in the new covenant. They're in the spirit. They're bringing out things that is hidden and not really known like that, and that not many is really confessing and professing like that. You see that? They began to sink. Luke 9 and verse 43. And they were all amazed at the mighty power of God. But while they wondered everyone at all things which Yahushua did, he said unto his disciples, let these sayings sink down into your ears. For the Son of Man shall be delivered into the hands of men. But they understood not this saying, and it was hid from them, and that they perceived it not, and they feared to ask him of that saying. You see? So these are things hard to be understood. But as the Lord, he's making our forehead. Let me get this. In Ezekiel. Ezekiel 3 and 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces. You see, we're going to be able to stand up and look at the wicked, look at Satan, look at the devil and rebuke them. And thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Right? The house of Israel is rebellious. They are always set against the Lord and the prophets. And this is why the Lord said, take ye heed. How ye hear. Luke 8 and verse 17 says, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest. And it's being made manifest by who the Lord is manifesting himself to. The prophets, the true men of the Lord. Which they see, if you're a prophet of the Lord, you're gonna just know. You're gonna know. And it's not like a form of cockiness, but you're going to be proving yourself day in and day out, being obedient, you see, and doing what the men of the Lord do. Because it's not just all talk, man. This is real. This is, you know what I'm saying? The Lord said, then shall you know who are his chosen, you see? Let me get this word from manifest.
Strong's G 5318. Phaneras.
And it goes into evident, known, to be plainly recognized or known. So everything's being very plainly recognized. And you're going to know the Lord's disciples by what? By the love that they have for one another. Not no fake love or love how the world teaches love. But love how the Lord loves. Chastisement, rebuke, correction. Iron sharpening iron. So I'm going to keep reading here. It says, neither anything hid that should not be known and come abroad. So everything's coming abroad. Everything's coming abroad. Now you got guys, because the wicked of our nation, what they're doing is like, they're saying, oh, we're in secret and who knoweth us? So they're not really manifesting anything. They're not really shedding light on anything. They want to keep things in the dark. Acts 4 and 16. I'll start a little bit up. Acts 4 and 15. But when they had commanded them to go aside out of the council, they conferred among themselves. Verse 14. And beholding the man which was healed staying with them, they could say nothing against it. Right? Because you can't do anything against the truth, but for it. You see? And like the Lord said in Romans 8, there is no condemnation of those that are in Yahushai. Says, but when they and that's what we're doing. We're all we're set to do is to draw brothers, right? Just like that net, just like a fishing rod and a hook. We're drawing brothers to Yahushai. That's what we're doing. So you're not gonna be condemned with the world. You're gonna be justified through faith, through belief. But when they had commanded them to go aside out of the council, they conferred among themselves, saying, what shall we do to these men? For that indeed a notable miracle hath been done by them is manifest to all them that dwell in Jerusalem, and we cannot deny it. But that is spread no further among the people, let us straightly threaten them that they speak henceforth to no man in this name. Because the thing is with the real men of the Lord, the real witnesses, is that when they would say the name of the Lord, things would get popping, man. Things would start, men would show if they was really of the Lord. Men would get healed from their demons and sicknesses. Because just like them evil spirits said to Paul, they said, we know Paul, we know Yahushai, because they have power to rebuke and cast out devils and demons. But the vagabond Jews, they didn't, because the Lord didn't know them. The Lord wasn't manifest to them, evidently known, plainly recognized. So this is why they told them, hey, you don't stop teaching in the name of Yahushai. Because when they were teaching in the name of Yahushai, it wasn't just all talk and words and noise. It was actually power. There was things happening. But Peter and John answered and said unto them, whether it be right in the sight of God to hearken unto you more than unto God, judge ye. For we cannot but speak the things which we have seen and heard. And that's the thing with a witness. A witness is someone that has actually seen and heard what has happened. They were there. So the true witnesses, they're going to tell the truth. They're not going to lie. They're not going to respect the persons or sell out. So when they had further threatened them, they let them go, finding nothing how they might punish them because of the people. For all men glorified God for that which was done. You see? Now going back, this is Romans 10 and 20. But Isaiah is very bold and saith, right? The righteous as bold as a lion. We're gonna face the enemies of the cross. We're gonna face the reprobates in the false apostles. We're gonna face all enemies, all wickedness. Says, and saith, I was found of them that sought me not. I was manifest unto them that asked not after me. But to Israel he saith, all day long have I stretched out forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people. You see, they're not obedient. See, the thing is with our people, like you have that picture, like there'll be two people digging for gold or diamonds, right? And the one that doesn't get the gold and the treasures, he basically just fucking gives up. He's been toiling all night, just like Simon, the disciples, the fishers, and they didn't catch anything. They didn't get anything out of it. But being obedient and having trust in the Lord, that eventually you're gonna hit, you're gonna get rewarded. The other guy that is digging, right? He digs really far, but he eventually finds it. You see? A disobedient and gainsaying people, right? So the gainsaying going into, they say things against Yahushua and against the disciples and the men of the Lord, to speak against, to oppose oneself to, right? Being Satan, anti-Yahushua, decline to obey him. Here's a point: refuse to have anything to do with him. That's why a lot of these guys are proud in these camps and just whatever. They refuse to have anything to do with us. You see? Because just as the proud is abomination to the humble is an abomination to the proud. You see, you have to understand that. You have to understand that. So guys ain't speaking boldly because the Lord hasn't manifested him to them. They don't know the Lord, and the Lord doesn't know them. First John 2:9. No, Revelation 15:4. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name, not your camp? Or how much knowledge you have, or I have 100% truth. I know more than the prophets of old. No, glorify the name of the Lord. For that, because the Lord, he resists the proud, but he gives his grace and increase to the humble. It says, for thou only art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. And who's manifesting the judgments? The judges that are what? In the spirit. That can't be judging no man, but what? Are setting forth the judgment, are raising the standard. First Peter 1:19, but with the precious blood of Yahushua, which that's the New Testament, that's the New Covenant. And that already happened thousands of years ago, man. As of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you, who by him do believe in God, that raised him up from the dead, and gave him glory, that your faith and hope might be in power. You see that? Now, I'm going to close off right here. Luke 8:18. It says, take heed therefore how ye hear, right? Who you're listening to, who you're surrounding yourself with. You have to be in the counsel of the Lord, in the spirit. Like I did that video, you know, whoever you surround yourself with, then you're gonna take on the similar characteristics of those people. Take heed how ye hear, right? Who you're listening to. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken, even that which he seemeth to have. So guys seem like they have the gifts and they have the talents and the spirit, but it's being taken from them. It's going into the talents. Guys are, like I said, they're hiding their talent. They're hiding their talent under a bushel. They know the Lord's a serious, austere man. Going into that parable. But they were disobedient what the Lord said to do. He said, go and increase it. And what did the Lord say? If any man lack faith, let him ask the Lord. And what did the apostles say? They said, Lord, increase our faith. So closed mouths, what? They don't get fed. And what did the Lord say? Open thy mouth wide and I will fill it with the fruits of the Spirit. Luke 17:5. And the apostles said unto the Lord, increase our faith. And this is right after Yahushua told them, you know, if your brother offends you, you know, forgive him 7 times 77, man. You know, be very merciful, for you shall receive mercy from the Lord. All praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Rahak Kodash. Baba Ba wa Shalom La Bayat Shal Dawada.